Hello, and welcome to episode 59 of the DaebakCast. This is a weekly podcast where the three of us come together each week to talk about K-pop and whatever's current in the industry and whatnot like that. This week we got 3 album reviews, so 2 of them are by the same artist because she decided to release 2 things like all at once.
3 album reviews, 2 artists, 2 languages.
Yeah. And then, so we're going to start off with the closing ceremony of the Olympics in Korea, which did feature K-pop. And then we're going to go into the 3 album reviews, Wikimiki, and then Boa Korean, Boa Japanese. So, yeah. All right. So let's get right into the first topic, which was the closing ceremony.
You just skipped all of your intro stuff.
I did.
Literally everything.
Can I just restart? Nah, let's
keep it.
As always, I am joined by Nate.
I'm a sassy girl. I'm a tough girl. I'm a pretty girl. I'm a foxy girl.
Brave girls.
Yep. High heels.
And Andrew, who usually has
wait.
No. Yeah, I'm skipping everything.
No questions. No reviews. Oh, let me double check. I actually haven't checked our iTunes because I was focusing on a SoundCloud issue that Lunatic Rob, pointed out for us.
Yeah, episode
57 just mysteriously disappeared off of our SoundCloud. So we re-uploaded.
If anybody finds episode 57, tell him to come home. We miss him.
The problem, and now it's gonna bug the hell out of me because it's out of order.
Yeah,
and it says that episode 57 came out after episode 58 on iTunes, but there's nothing we could do about that. I guess we could delete 58 and re-upload that, but
that bothered me even more.
Too much work. So, yep, no questions. Leave questions if you have them. Leave reviews. We'll read them.
So definitely, please leave some reviews, leave questions. I actually am more interested in the questions now because I'm interested in what you guys want to know. Anyways, we also have Andrew, as always, who usually has 3 things. Well, actually, I don't think there's been a single time where you had less than 3 things.
Yeah.
He's had more sometimes.
Well, yeah. I guess like 0.5 would be up. I'm still recovering from the flu, so I'm going to be riding the mute button for so I don't cough all over this thing. Number 1, all of this is just like Olympic related. Number 1, for the first time in 20 years, U.S. women have won gold in hockey, beating Canada in the overtime shootout. I mean, granted, shootouts to determine like important games is kind of like bullshit when it comes to hockey, but this one was so worth it. Basically the game was so back and forth and so close and everything, even the shootout. And one of the Lamoureux twins, basically, she put out like the nastiest deke I've ever seen in my entire life. Like the goalie's life flashed before her eyes when she saw that shit coming towards her. Like she fell backwards. That's how bad she got deked on the shot. And then their goalie's 20 years old, Maddie Riley. Like she came up with a save to give them the gold medal. It was insane. And I mean, yeah, they have it's the first time that they've won since the first Olympic or women's hockey started in 1980 in Nagano. So yeah, it's crazy that they finally got over their demons. So it's amazing. Speaking of, number 2 is, for the first time ever in like curling history, or Olympic curling history, the U.S. has won gold in the men's curling, which was awesome.
Oh, they actually ended up winning that?
Yeah,
I know they wanted to.
Curling is easily the best sport to watch in the Olympics because it's so weird, but it's so amazing, and I've always been wanting to try curling.
I've done it.
It seems fun.
It's weird, but it's fun.
Yeah. And on a side note as well, the South Korean,
actually really hard.
Yeah, because it's like it's basically shuffleboard except like huge shuffleboard. So
on
with
ice.
brooms.
With brooms, yeah, basically, and you're just yelling like, "Whoa, hard, sweep," and like all that sort of stuff, like really loudly. And, yeah. But also as a side note, South Korean women's curling team won silver. They made it to the gold medal game, but lost against Sweden. But yeah, they swept the nation, like swept the nation or whatever. Like they got really popular, and like Korea isn't known as a curling nation or whatever, and for them to make a finals like this was pretty incredible. And number 3, our K-pop princess Yevgenia Medvedeva. She fell short slightly. She took home silver in the ladies singles program behind a fellow Olympic athlete from Russia, because Russia is technically, it wasn't at the Olympic Games because of doping, but yeah, behind 15-year-old Alina Zagitova, which was insane. Like they're just incredibly young. If she's just like, Medvedeva's only like 18 or whatever. The crazy thing is the Russian figure skating program is such a machine that there's a chance they might not even there's people younger than them that will overtake them next time the Olympics comes around, basically. So, but I mean, they both still did amazing. Medvedeva was incredible. Her skates were like very like moving, and she's like, it's crazy. Like, she's basically the most famous K-pop fan in the world now, and it's crazy that she's like she's out there spreading the word for K-pop and winning medals and everything. So, yep, those are my 3 things. We'll get into more Olympic stuff later.
Speaking of the Russian doping, apparently even the Russian curler got busted for doping.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Curling is like a precise sport.
Why do you need to dope for curling?
Yeah, you don't need strength. You need like precision and skill.
It's a joke that curlers are basically the most unathletic like athletes at the Olympic Games. Like, you don't need a 6-pack and like huge muscles to be a curler. I'll tell you that.
God, yeah, my dad was talking to me about this. He's like, what he thinks is like, if you can be fat and be one of the best in the world in something, then it's not a sport.
But no, they've actually
like he likes golf and everything, and he's like, no, golf is not a sport.
Okay, well, I mean, not everyone looks like freaking John Daly or something like that. Like, I mean, everyone's relatively healthy because you need a lot of like power and everything. And same thing with curling.
Most of golf is like how you hit the ball. But anyways, into episode. Closing ceremony.
No blown out.
No blown out. And I'm Jacob, obviously. Let's go.
All right, so closing ceremony happened. We are recording this on the night of February 25th. But actually, if you're at the time we're recording this right now, the closing ceremonies would be airing on TV here in America, but they occurred at like 6 a.m. Eastern time, which was like, I don't know, like 8, 9 or whatever Korea time. Yeah. So yeah, I ended up I just watched it on a VPN, so I'm gonna go through it. In terms of, there was a lot more music in this one as opposed to the opening ceremonies, a lot more K-pop as well, but yeah, it was a pretty cool ceremony. So like, they had a lot of like the traditional sort of elements to it. There's this crazy, like, I don't know, like, because I guess the whole theme of it is like they're looking into the future of Korean culture and all that sort of thing. So they had these like crazy sort of like progressive rock like instrumental piece with like these like old like string instruments mixed in, and like the coolest part about it was like there's this 13-year-old kid named Young Taeyang who I'll link this image in the chat really quick, because this kid was so cool. Like, he was basically like up on like the podium near where the Olympic flame was, playing the guitar and everything. It's like rocking out. I was just like, yo, how crazy is it for like this kid just to be able to perform at the Winter Olympics? And yeah, like, there's some like progressive rock like band like going in.
I like his fro.
Yeah, he has an amazing hair. I'm just like, yo, this kid's like, he's like a relic out of time right now. Like, that's amazing.
This is gonna be the thumbnail.
Yeah. Not EXO?
But this kid's afro is amazing.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, that's for an Asian guy, like for an Asian, that's like a marvel. Like, that's like a miracle right there, to be able to grow that kind of hair. So yeah, they had that cool like sort of rock performance. But yeah, so the closing ceremony is a lot more informal than the opening ceremonies, where they usually have like literally like it takes an hour for all of like the countries to enter, but usually they're just like, fuck it, like you can go in like whatever order you want. It's really like just like a giant party sort of thing, which is why like they focus a lot more on the music. The first like K-pop sort of related thing that happened was they played this montage of like the events like stuff that happened during the games with using the Olympic song that Taeyang made, Louder.
Louder.
Yeah, Louder.
I believe we reviewed it.
So good.
Yeah, it's a good song. I thought he was there. I kind of wish he was there, but I mean, yeah, that was sort of like the song of the games for them, basically.
That would have been a great thing for him to like perform like at the actual ceremony.
Yeah,
Too busy on his honeymoon.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
too busy. Yeah, he's too busy
Probably.
getting married.
Timing's bad.
Yeah. So the first K-pop performance that went on was CL, formerly of 21. So you guys didn't get to watch this, but I did.
Nope.
So
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
it's a good thing.
Sounds like it's a good
bad-
thing that we didn't watch it.
It's a good thing that you didn't watch it. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I'm happy that CL got to perform, but
Yeah.
it felt so out of place, like musically and I guess just style wise. So like with CL, like her whole thing is just like, oh, badass sort of female like empowerment sort of thing, and like really like heavy like visuals and like themes and sort of thing, which was at such contrast because like the entire like theme of the Olympic Games is like peace and harmony. I'm just like, peace and harmony. Who's the first person you think of? Oh, CL from freaking 21.
Yeah.
Because YG groups are nothing but bastions of peace and harmony.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's supposed to be like the whole like
The
bad girl, like
badass,
rebel,
Yeah.
sort of concept.
Yeah,
and then
so
they pick her.
she performed. So she literally performed the baddest female, and which was okay, which is pretty good though. It was a live performance, so she had like I think it might just be her like her thing where which kind of annoys me at like live concerts is when she only sings like some of the lines and lets the backing track do the rest of it, and then sings the line, and then that kind of got on my nerves. And then after that, I heard "Nega te jalaga," and I was like, oh, whoa, it's 21. You're gonna reunite? Nope.
No.
It was
Just CL.
it was just CL. So basically, they did the intro, skipped to CL's like one verse, and then did the
Chorus.
refrain. Like that's it. And then like they did the chorus. Like they literally did like
Nothing.
1/3 of "I Am the Best," just like anything that had CL in it. It was honestly it felt like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of disrespectful for them to perform that song on an international stage where like everyone's watching, like the song that made 21 famous, where they played on commercials here in the United States, and for CL to be the only one to do that, like not even like Dara or
I feel like they easily could have gotten them all together for that. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's the freaking Olympics, you know. If they
I
had
wouldn't be
asked,
surprised
they would
if
have done it.
YG didn't want them to.
That's probably exactly what it is.
Exactly.
Or he didn't want to ask them or anything. He didn't want that to happen, basically.
Yeah, exactly. I 100%.
But I mean,
that's what happened.
CL is just not the right choice for me when it comes to the Olympics. Just her image
Yeah.
is just, and honestly, like, I mean, some of it's not her fault coming like dealing with like YG not releasing her music and everything, but it just feels like
Yeah.
as a solo artist, I don't feel like she's released enough music to justify being on an international stage like this. And I know that's probably kind of harsh, but it's
She
the
only
truth.
she has 2 songs.
Yeah, like.
Or 3 songs, sorry.
Like I feel like if you wanted a female like lead, somebody that sort of would represent like Korea, I would have easily picked Twice or Boa or IU
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Hayes
Boa would have been
or
perfect.
Ailey. Like
Yeah,
Boa would
there's
have been
plenty.
perfect.
There's so many choices that, like, I would have put over. And, like, it's not CL's fault, like you said. Like,
Yeah, it's not her fault.
It's not even the lack of music. It's just her image doesn't fit with an Olympics, like, harmony and peace closing ceremony thing. Like, IU would have been perfect. Like,
Yeah, it's
There are
it's
just
a
way
weird
better
choice. Like there's got to be something going on in the background for that to have
oh,
happened.
yeah,
but-
it was definitely.
Like, and I mean, remember the planning for these games was going on well during.
Wait, so you listed IU, or not IU, Ailey, did she not actually perform?
Nah, that was just a
Where did all
rumor.
those?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. It was confirmed.
Yeah.
I read things saying it was confirmed. So whoever said that was a lie.
Yeah, that was sad because and it seemed like such a perfect song too. It's a winter sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a winter
Literally,
song.
I will go to you like the first snow, like. I don't know what happened with that, but yeah, I would have loved if Ailey got to perform. Anyway, the better part, maybe I'm biased, but the better part of the K-pop performances came in the form of EXO. You guys just watched like a couple minutes before we started recording, but yeah, watching it was surreal seeing like EXO on like a stage like this, and like think about it. Like for a K-pop artist, there will probably never be a bigger stage than this sort of thing. Like you're never gonna have as many eyes on you as it will be at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, except for the Olympics. I was gonna say except for maybe the New Year's thing with BTS, but
or maybe like
one country.
Or maybe like the World Cup.
The Olympics
or
is all
like
over
that.
the world.
If if South Korea hosts the World Cup again, maybe. But like it's hard to think.
I think
a bigger honor.
If South Korea. I think it would be bigger only if South Korea hosted the summer games.
Yeah, I would say Summer Olympics are like the only other thing.
I'll get to my views on that later.
Then they reunite Sistar and perform a bunch of like
songs.
Overly sexy summer songs on the
yeah.
closing stage.
Or we get Red Velvet,
Shake Your Body,
Red Flavor or something.
Yeah, but so yeah, EXO. It's they have the most intricate performance. Like the beginning of it, Kai gets to do a solo like dance like performance at the Olympics. How crazy is that? Like he did this like really cool sort of like freestyle dance with somebody who was like playing a like a tiny cymbal sort of thing and he was wearing like traditional Korean clothing. And everything, and then after that it switches into, or after that like you see like the floor, like the floor lighting and everything change, and then he changes into like a suit, and then out of nowhere all these ATVs come out, and we bring all the members of EXO. It's like probably the most random like opening.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah,
but it was amazing.
But not in a bad way. Yeah,
and
like how they pulled it off.
Also, as they were performing Growl, it was funny because they were like the ATVs were just circling them. They're just driving around.
Well,
them.
before that too, they were sitting behind them, but they were flashing their lights like as part of the show, which was like kind of cool.
Yeah,
because it wasn't just like randomized flashing; it was like actually part of the light show.
Yeah, the whole like thing with EXO was just awesome. Getting to see them perform, and they were pretty busy too. Like from what I've read, they were in Japan. Yeah. The day before and didn't get back to Korea until like 4 a.m. basically. So yeah, they were busy. Like, and you could tell they were kind of off when they did the choreography. But and also it's just it's a probably a combination of like nerves because it's a huge like honor again. Like your country's entrusting you with like showcasing like their culture to the world basically like that. And again, just like nerves. Probably the weather, like. That's probably like a weird stadium to like sort of like get feedback or like get like audio from or whatever. So,
yeah.
But I mean, it was an amazing performance. I love like they did Growl, like they had like the cool like intro and like dance break and everything, and then they did Power, like the amazing remix of Power that they do live. So yeah, I was so like. In all my years of being an EXO-L, I don't think I've ever been more happy than today. Like that, and that's saying a lot because I've seen EXO live twice, but I feel like this is probably their crowning achievement. That like they're called the nation's pick for a reason. Like I couldn't think of, other than Big Bang maybe or Girls' Generation, I couldn't think of any other group that'd be more deserving of like being like showcasing like K-pop to the world than EXO because they've worked so hard these past like 6-7 years basically.
Yeah, I think in the modern day EXO is definitely the right choice, especially since like I don't know, some people might not appreciate this, but BTS has already sort of had their share of like these sort of moments, I think.
Yeah.
So, and EXO hasn't really had any yet.
Yeah, it's weird because
so I think it was really cool opportunity.
Yeah, because EXO like they're definitely more popular in Korea, but I feel like they haven't had much of a chance to be exposed internationally. But I mean, there was this as far as to normies. For to like people that don't really follow K-pop, but they're probably more familiar with BTS and EXO. But there was this like feature that they did on Yevgenia Medvedeva, like talking about like how she does like she dances to K-pop, like we talked about last week, and like they're playing clips of EXO and they're playing a clip of her dancing to Call Me Baby on like primetime television. That's crazy. Like like again, just like they're getting like so much exposure. So that
was on Thursday, right?
Yeah, it was like it was the day of.
I think I actually caught that then on TV because I was at my grandmother's house and it was on the TV. I was like, oh, it's her. She's on the TV.
Yeah, it was talking about like how she's like an anime. She's basically a weeb in a Korean.
Yeah. It talked about her Sailor Moon stuff.
Yeah,
and,
she's
how
like
she dances.
she's easily my
favorite.
She's easily my favorite. Actually, no, it's between her and Alex Cam when it comes to like my favorite Olympians from this, because Alex Cam he does not know when to stop. Just side note, another, if you have a chance to go watch the figure skating gala, because they had a lot of K-pop performances as well. Minyura and Alexander Gamelin, who compete under Korea, they did "Lollipop" by 21 and Big Bang.
Worst song choice
I know, worst
ever.
song ever. I know. Let's see, Alex Cam and God, I forget, like Kim is the last name of his partner. They did a medley of "I Am the Best" and "Red Flavor." And for the part with "I Am the Best," because you know how he became a meme because he had the Olympic ring glasses, and then so
Did
they
he do
basically
that?
he did that. And then after, like, I think like when the camera was on him, he did Salt Bay and everything like that. Like basically every time there's a camera on, he's just doing some type of beam.
That's funny.
He's pretty funny.
Wait, how old is he again?
He's like, I don't know, like 17-ish, 18.
But,
I don't know.
yeah, okay, it makes sense.
Like 20-ish maybe. I don't know. Like,
Either way,
he's of the age. He's of the age
He's
where he's
Jacob's
like meme.
age.
He's Jacob's age, so he's of course he's going to be a meme lord. Who else? There was like a Ukrainian figure skater that did mic drop remix. It was insane.
That's weird.
Like he did like choreography and everything. It was so cool. And then at the end when they did their like final bow, they came out to Likey and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the figure skating gala was amazing because there's so much K-pop in it. So yeah, besides EXO, during when they're like all of the countries were entering the stadium, a band called Second Moon was playing music in the background. I've never heard of them. Like I think
Me
they're just
neither.
Nope.
they're some like Korean like rock band or whatever. Much older than our age range.
Yeah.
So towards the end, they start to get into like some EDM music. The first DJ that came out, to my surprise, was DJ Raiden. I was just like, wait a second.
Cool.
Wait a second. That's the guy that he did the station track with Yuri.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think he's Korean, so
Yeah, he's Korean.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool to see him. And then after that, their grand finale, I guess, was Martin Garrix, like the EDM DJ. I was just like, okay.
Oh wait, I've actually heard of him. I think.
Yeah, like he's one of the most popular like EDM DJs.
Yeah,
out
it
there.
was weird that they said there was gonna be like a K-pop surprise guest, and then it was someone.
It was
no one
Martin
knew anyone.
Garrix. So I was just like,
Nobody
okay.
had any idea who that was.
Yeah, I don't know, but it wasn't bad. I guess they want to put on music that I guess the non Korea booths will actually enjoy, because they're like they're probably just like, yo, what's all this K-pop shit? Let put on the EDM. But no, it was pretty cool, and also they had a really nice. There's a tradition that at every closing ceremony they have a part where they hand over. They have a symbolic handing over of the games from the current one to the future one. The next Winter Olympic Games are in Beijing in 2022, so they had a whole section where like they had like skating panda bears or something like that. It was really cool. But yeah, I can't wait. Definitely, it's interesting. The next three.
So that's like the equivalent to what they did in Brazil with the Mario pipe and stuff for Tokyo.
Yeah, so they handed it over to Beijing since they're the next Winter Olympic Games. So
Okay.
yeah, just overall, I'd say that I enjoyed this. This is an enjoyable Olympic Games I'd say I'd enjoyed it the most ever since it's the most I've enjoyed since London, just because for the most part it didn't go like crap, because I mean for the Sochi and Rio were kind of a mess. Like it was like ongoing thing where like literally like everything was going on in Rio. But yeah, this was a pretty like well-run Olympics so far, and I would not be surprised if this sort of gives Korea momentum to bid for a Summer Olympic Games, because it's been how many years since Seoul?
1988 or 85?
I don't know.
No,
like,
85. I don't know.
It's even years, so it's like it was early 80s or something like that when Seoul hosted.
84?
Yeah,
I'm gonna look it up right now.
When Seoul hosted the Olympics. But yeah, it was a well-run Olympic Games. They were very focused on being frugal about it. Like the Olympics, like the stadium that they built. I don't know if I can find a picture of it, but yeah, this the opening and closing stadium that they built is a temporary venue, so they're literally just gonna take it down after this, so they don't. It's not a white, like a giant like white elephant just like sitting there like.
Yeah, it's not one of those weird, creepy, like abandoned Olympic areas that you see pictures of.
Like not literally
like
none
haunted
of the
area looking.
None of this is gonna be abandoned because pretty much everything. For the most part, everything that they had was like pre-existing. Like all of like the skiing and like snowboarding venues. That was already like a mountain resort. All the stuff in Gangan was like that's already like they built like new stuff there. But it's a busy like area. It's a populated city already.
Yeah. Apparently, they spent like 1/8 the amount that they did for Sochi, and it still turned out way better.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's just, well, I mean, that's kind of like what you have to be more frugal about it because people don't want to host the games if you're going to waste a lot of money on it. So this is a very well run game. Like games, enjoyed a lot of it. I mean, the U.S. didn't do as well medal wise. They only ended up with like 9 gold medals compared to like Germany and Norway who had like 14. But yeah, it was pretty successful games, and I'm glad that we got to show that they got to showcase Korean culture, K-pop, all this sort of stuff to the world. And yeah, it's I don't know what I'm gonna.
It was in 1988 that they last had the Summer Games. So yeah.
They're definitely I'd love to see them do, but I mean it might not be until like 2030 something, and hopefully I'll be old enough to have enough dispensable income to go to the Seoul, to Seoul for Olympic Games. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life now that I don't have Olympics to watch at 3 a.m. when I can't sleep. So yeah, that closes the
back to watching anime.
Yeah, back to watching anime. She's an Olympic like athlete. She has the chance to win gold for her home country, and she's competing in like Korea, which is like she still love the culture and everything, and love the music. She gets to meet EXO, which is like one of my dreams, definitely. Yeah, and also she's obviously being like a kid. She's also like a huge like weeb